This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
It's Staycation Destinations on Family Life. Every Friday all summer long, we map out unique opportunities for you to discover somewhere unique in our listening area. On today's trip, we go to Pennsylvania, and we go underground.
Hi, my name is Gary Buchsen from the Coudersport Ice Mine, the coldest spot east of the Mississippi River.
This is something that has been in your family as an operation you make available to the tourists and guests who come to see you. Tell us the family story about how the ice mine became a project for you.
The Coudersport Ice Mine actually dates way back into the 1800s. It was first discovered on the side of a hill in what is now Sweden Township, just east of Coudersport, Pennsylvania, and for years was a tourist destination. And there were folks that would travel from throughout the Northeast, would visit the Coudersport Ice Mine, and was open through the 40s and the 50s, 60s. It was closed for a period of time, about 15 years or so, but was always a piece of local history. So my father, Gary Buchsen, purchased the ice mine about 12 years ago and renovated the property. So we've been open for 10 years. We tell everybody, it isn't a Disney ride, but what it is, it's the coldest spot east of the Mississippi River, and it's a geological phenomenon where ice grows. We have a visitor platform that you look down into this hole, and literally the ice will grow through the spring and summer months, and then begins to melt late in the summer through the fall, and there will be no ice in it through the fall into the winter. So it's literally a reversal of seasons. It's an interesting phenomenon. It's referred to as actually a glacier, where the hillside, for lack of a better term, will collect cold air during the wintertime, and then the cold air is released through the spring and the summer, and when that comes in contact with humid air, ice will form, and then that process reverses itself late summer into the fall. So it is interesting to say the least.
That is something I know across our listening area, New York and Pennsylvania. There are a number of mines. There are cave tours and such. But to be an ice mine really makes you a unique stop for those who want to make a tour.
I think it does. At the hotel here just this week, we met with a couple from New Jersey whose family traveled to Potter County, years and years ago, and part of their annual, trips into Potter County, they would stop at the Coudersport Ice Mine. Well, as a young child, this lady kind of fell in love with the ice mine, and she and her husband of 3 years, they were married at the ice mine out in front of the entrance 3 years ago, and she shared some pictures and whatnot with us. But this was a piece of Potter County history, and it was generational. And that was the one thing that my father said when he purchased the property, because it had been closed for a number of years. And his intent was, he says, I don't care about ever making any money off of this. He says, this is a piece of Potter County history that I want to bring back, and he did. And we usually have about 5,000 folks a year will visit, through the summer months. It's amazing the number of people from around the country will visit. We always keep track of where they're from, but it's not uncommon that we'll have a season where we'll have folks from 48, 49 of the 50 states, and sometimes we'll have visitors from each of the 50 states, as well as folks from around the world. So, something that my father is very proud of and what he did.
We're talking with Gary Buchsen, whose family owns the Coudersport Ice Mine. Can you tell us some of the stories? What do people see? What are they most impressed with when they look at this reversal of nature and this very unique spot underground?
Probably answer that a couple different ways. Number one, and somewhat jokingly, you'll have some folks will be convinced that this is somehow a trick. It's a hoax, where we have some type of underground freezing equipment or something like that's artificially generating the ice, and usually that's said in jest. We assure them that that is not the case. I think the other thing that kind of sparks people, and unfortunately now we're getting later in the summer, and a lot of the ice is actually melted, although there's still ice there. You ask yourself, how can it be possible where you have an outside temperature of 85, 90 degrees like we did here in the last few weeks, and then you can go to this, for lack of a better term, it's a hole in the ground, into the hillside of the mountain, where this will literally grow through the spring and the summer months, and then eventually will begin to melt in late summer. But I think it is just the natural beauty of the area. It is off of Route 6, a little bit, but it's very quiet. There are very large hemlock trees that are 100 years old, but it is just very quaint. It's very quiet. There's flagstone around the area, and it is just we say it's just a very, very peaceful spot. And we tell folks, when they come there, it is a very simple tour. It is a 5-minute introduction of the history of the mine, families or the groups that are there. They will walk in through a door, so you will be outside where could be 80, 85 degrees. You're going to walk through this door, and we tell everybody, if you spend any time at all around this hole in the ground, you're probably going to want to wear a sweatshirt, because all summer long it's 40 degrees. Everybody that leaves it will say, wow, that's very interesting. It's very neat. It's a very unique, and it's just an interesting place. And I think that's the fairest description I can make of it.
Gary, for our listeners who would like to come and visit the Coudersport Ice Mine, how do they find you? What do they need to know about visiting? Where can they get more information? 2
different locations, what I think would be best. We do have a page on the millstreamin.com, and you'll see an ice mine page there. And we have a pretty active Facebook page as well. But there's all kind of pictures there. For me, it almost looks like it could be something out of like the Swiss Alps or something like that. And it's, like I said, it's just very quaint. It's interesting. We've got about 9,000 followers on that. And all of our information with regards to the ice mine is available seasonally. We always open Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day, and it's Wednesday through Sunday between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. We have folks there, somebody to give a tour, right in Sweden Valley, just east of Coudersport, Pennsylvania. Very easy to get to, and it's we've got the address on our Facebook page and also on our website as well.
We will link that from our Staycation Destinations podcast page as well. Gary Buchsen, his family owns the ice mine near Coudersport, Pennsylvania. That's in the north central part of the state. I'm Greg Gillespie. Thanks for listening to Staycation Destinations. Buckle up and enjoy your journeys.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.